Okay, so here's your typical creek. So what I want you to think about is where would you go here and why would you go there? Why would you take a chance of bringing a dredge in or a high banker into this particular area and burn gas for maybe a day or just a half a day even? But why would you pick that spot and how would you know that there's really gold there? Now I'll show you two ways that you can figure that out. It can be anywhere, a creek like this. It can be even a river can flow like this. The blue arrows show the flow of the water. Okay. The red arrows are showing the gold path through this whole creek area. Now there's different things that will happen in a creek. That flow will stay just like it is unless there's an obstruction. And as you can see, this obstruction here, and I've run into this a couple of, maybe not this many, but this is like a flat rocks laying across the creek. So you have natural riffles here, and your gold's going to lay in on the other side of those flat rocks. And where it starts up here, this is where cobbles would lay in and where your gold would lay on this first corner. So now typically what will happen in a creek is as the water flows, it will go around this bend, but your gold path will be corner to corner like it is here. So you'll get some lay-in right here, more gold. And as it flows this way, if there's no obstructions is the key thing. It'll hit this other inside bend. So actually you're having a straight line from inside bend to inside bend, and from this inside bend to this inside bend. And then you've got this, and this is not infrequent to happen, is to have a log fall in here. So now you have some different things going to happen. You're going to have a slight buildup of gold right here. It's going to change the flow of the water to around to this side, so you're going to have a slight buildup of gold right here on that side. And of course you're going to have a little bit, depending if you're getting underflow under the log or just overflow, you can probably lay in a little bit of gold right here. But now the path has changed a little bit wider, and you're going to have a little bit of lay-in here and cobbles lay-in on this inside bend, which would be in a straight line from this one still. But you're going to have just a little bit of lay-in here now, just downstream from that. So now your flow is going to come this way, and it's still going to go to the inside bend. It's going to try not to go to the outside bend. Your fast water is going to be here, your slow water is going to be on the inside of all bends. So and this happens quite frequently too, where the creek will split as it comes around the bend, and it'll lay in a sandbar or gravel bar right here. So what happens when it does that is your gold path splits also and goes both sides. So you will lay in gold here and here and here. And you're going to get a little bit of gold here, and something on any inside bend or on an island like this. This is called the heel of the flow and the heel of the bend. On the heel of a bend, like here, you'll get your bigger gold on the heel than on the toe. You're going to get gold here. You're going to get fine gold here, and you're going to get coarse gold here. The same here. You're going to get coarse gold here and fine gold as you go down. So as the creek continues to flow here, it comes down, and I put one boulder in here, and you're going to have a similar thing happen, but boulders are a little bit different. As your gold comes, it's going to split, and it's going to go around the boulder, and it's going to go around both sides, and it's going to, depending on the flow height, it's going to overflow over the top of the boulder. So where your gold will lay, it will be on the sides, on the back side, and on the front side of the boulder. It'll lay in on all different sides of it. And that's why anytime we see big rocks in a creek, that's where the place is to go. But you want to check on all sides of it, and not just say, well, it's like a riffle, it's going to go here. These are like a riffle, and the gold 99% of the time will be on the downstream side. Here on a boulder, because it's round or oblong or whatever, the gold is going to be on every side of it in some instances, and it depends on how hard the flow is. So when it comes off of that, as it splits, You'll also get down here, right in front of it, maybe in a long line, you'll get a gold buildup. And the same here, and I didn't show this on this island, you'll get it here as it comes together on the lower end of this island. This is usually a really good place to get gold. And then it'll continue, and it'll do this same pattern just about everywhere. Now, if you have a creek come in, say a creek comes in here, if that's the case, and your flow is this way, if that creek is carrying gold, the old timers called this the right hand rule. This is the major creek, and typically your gold will lay in more here, and as your flow is this way in this creek and this way here and here. These will be the two spots. They call it the right hand rule, and depending on how this creek is shaped, if it's coming in at an angle, coming in straight, or coming in from a lower angle like so, where that gold's going to go. But you'll have that feed also. So that's it for this portion of it. Now, see here, this is my panning tub that really helps when you're panning, whether you're in a creek or not. That really doesn't matter. This keeps you from bending over, saves your knees. The other thing is, this pan, when you go out to buy a pan, don't buy a pan and go out and pan with it. The first thing you can do, I'm not sure you can see it real well in this video, but you can see the scratches here in the bottom, the sides, and the riffles just everywhere. All my pans are that way. When you get a new pan, the first thing you do is get some dish soap, throw in dish soap, and just scrub the living daylights out of it with a brush. Scrub the riffles, all the little grooves in the riffles, the bottom. Then take out one of the scratchy pads that looks like almost like a steel wool pad. Scratch the sides, the riffles again, the whole thing. Then when you go out to the creek, as soon as you get out, to get a handful of gravel and sand, and do the same thing again. So the scratches are good. It makes your material stay and not go anywhere. So you need to do that. Then that gets your pan seasoned so it's ready to go. And if you can see both of these are both my pans. They're scratched everywhere, and I've been using them for a lot of years, and they'll last you for a lifetime. So the next thing I always do is, no matter what I'm doing, if I'm doing concentrate, I always use number 4 screen. It's a 1/4" screen. Number 4 just says there's 4 openings per inch. So when you screen your material, all you're going to do is put water in your pan and screen it down like so. So you get all that material classified, at least down, especially when you're sampling. When I go out to a claim to sample, that's how I sample. I take that material, put it on top of the screen, put it in a pan, take it to the creek, and do it that way. And let me get some material we'll throw in there and show you. Alright, I've re-aimed the camera now so you can see what we've got here. This is the 1/4" screen. This is the material. I'm sorry, this is the pan we're going to use, as is this one. I always use 2 gold pans. I pan into a pan. And a lot of people say, well, you don't have to do that because I never lose any gold when I pan. Well, if they don't, they're probably the only ones in the world that don't. When you're in, especially when you hit a good spot, you're getting a lot of good gold, you want to catch every little speck. And I mean, sometimes it's really fine stuff. So we pan into a pan, and I can't tell you how many times we've found really good gold in our safety pan. And the safety pan is the one that's underneath this one. So here we are back at our creek. And now you should know approximately where there should be gold, but we are not sure that it really is there. So that was why setting up the pan to do this, it was just of the utmost importance. So I'll show you more here in a second. So there's several methods of testing. If you're testing with a dry washer, you just do small, like potholes, and pan out each one of those, and it'll tell you how much gold is actually in that spot. And you move up the creek or down the creek, depending on how the material looks. By the first part of this video, you could see that. To dredge underwater, you do a similar thing. You take the nozzle and you punch potholes down through the overburden, and you test that with the dredge itself, just like you do with the dry washer. In a creek, like the one shown here, it's best to use a pan and a screen and go pick your spot, pan it, and move. If it isn't good, move up, move down, move into the bank, move into the creek, whichever direction you think you should go, and check all four ways. Always check into the creek, into the bank, to the left and to the right. Try to follow bedrock every time you get a chance. Follow it either into the creek or into the bank or both. And that'll get you to a point using just a pan and screen where you know there's going to be pretty good gold here. And then you can bring in your dredge or bring in your high banker and pull all that gold right out of the ground. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, give a good comment. May the bottom of your pan be gold forever. Thank you so much for watching. Come back again.